Oh, hi there. I'm Mr. Guybrush, and this is my top 10 games of 2021. Just a note, these games maybe were not released in 2021. All I mean is that I played them for the first time in 2021. Okay? Makes sense? By the way, some of the playthroughs of these games are still stored in my Twitch pods, so you might want to check it out. Who knows, I might be live right now. So take a look if you want. Also, don't forget to check at the end of the video. I got 2 extra categories for special games that I played, and for the worst games, or the most disappointing games I played as well. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into number 10. Batman Arkham Asylum. I played this game for the first time without having much knowledge about the DC universe, and I was very surprised to see how good it was. Some of the mechanics are a little bit antiquated, a little bit dated, but you gotta understand that this game was released a long time ago. The graphics were pretty good. The bloom or the faded effect was kind of weird at times, but overall I would say it was really good. The characters, the story was overall a really good experience. The boss fights, sometimes I would get glitched or like they were too repetitive, but overall I would say this was a solid game and I wish I would have played it earlier. Also, I'm gonna be playing the next of the series, which is City and Night, so I'm very excited about that. Number 9, Journey. This game was actually pretty short, but I was pretty surprised by the feelings that it left me. It was an experience of like around 3 hours. Each person will have a different experience. It's a game where you cannot communicate, you can see other people, but you cannot communicate, and some other people might actually guide you during your adventure, some other people might not actually care, and you will be surprised how attached you can be to them. And I don't know, it's a beautiful experience, I highly recommend it. It's a solid number 9. I played it for the first time because it got released on PC, and I wasn't disappointed. Number 8. I just want to clarify that I'm still currently playing this one, but I'm very surprised by the quality of this game. I was always under the impression that this game was the underdog of Dark Souls or Souls-like games, and I always avoided it. I have played Dark Souls 1, 3 and Sekiro, and for some reason I always avoided this game, and I have been very surprised. Some of the boss fights are very easy, for at least most of the boss fights are very easy for me so far. And I got a little bit annoyed in between areas, like some are very tedious, some are kind of unfair to the playthrough. But overall it's a solid Dark Souls experience, and what people think about this game is that it's the least liked of all the Souls-like games. Overall, I would say it's a solid experience and I highly recommend it. Number 7, Alien Isolation. I was actually pretty surprised by this game. I didn't think I would like it, and I got kind of addicted to it. I played it on my first playthrough in hard difficulty, and I would say that was a mistake, because it made the game very annoying and sometimes you will die without any reason or very unfairly. If you are playing for the first time, go for the normal difficulty. The graphics were really good, the atmosphere was crazy. You will feel tense for the most part of the game, and that feeling of being hunted by the alien is present, it's very dominant during the playthrough. The music and the sound effects are really good as well. You get to pay attention to these sounds and see if the alien is in one place or the other, and overall it's really good. Bonus points, it was released on Epic for free, so you might actually have it in your library. Number 6, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This game, I'm not a fan of platformers, but for some reason this game just was amazing. The story, the graphics, the music, all of it was so good. And I just wish it was longer. That was my only complaint about the game, that I wish it had one more area. I highly recommend getting this game, or you could get it on the Game Pass and just play it once and that's it. enjoyed this game because it's a unique experience. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for the first game, although it was very beautiful as well and had an amazing soundtrack. I felt like it was lacking a lot of things that this second part of the franchise actually had. They did a really good job and I highly recommend it. You should check it out. Number 5. Okay, this is a little bit special because it was my first experience as a Resident Evil player. I never played any Resident Evils before, so I went ahead and played Resident Evil 7 and Village at the same time, one after the other. So for me, somehow it's a one game all together, and I really enjoyed it. I played on normal difficulty. The boss fights, especially on Resident Evil 7, were kind of weird. I felt they were in close quarters and you didn't get to see what's going on fully. And some glitches here and there, but overall it was pretty good. The story, I had to look it up a little bit after the game to fully understand what was going on. And yeah, I highly recommend it. And Village was released this year, so extra points for that. I think Village is a clear winner between the two of those. And you know, the whole vampire mummy thing that people keep talking about. Yeah, it's a really good game. The atmosphere is pretty good as well. The music, the sounds. All of it, I would say these are solid games and totally deserve the number 5 spot. Number 4. Okay, this is a game without a story, and actually I still have to finish it. But it was a phenomenon at the beginning of the year. Everybody was playing this. I'm lucky that I discovered it pretty early, and when still everybody was discovering the game. And I decided to play with friends on a server, and it was a blast. To this day, I still, from time to time, I load up a war and I just decorate or try to progress a little bit into the story. This game is amazing, it's very cheap as well, it's like 16 euros or something. And if you haven't played it, and you, especially if you are an MMO fan from the old times when you had to grind and farm and all of that, I think you will like it. Plus, it has some survival aspects that you might enjoy if you like Minecraft or any other survival game. Especially the graphics, you might think it's nothing amazing, but the lightning effects are really good. Also, the fact that you can just play co-op with your friends is amazing. It's just amazing, and you all get to build a base if you want. You don't need to do the bosses. For the most part, I was just building my base and wasn't doing anything else. But the bosses that I did were really fun as well. And you know, every time you defeat a boss, there is new discoveries, there is new technologies that you can do, new recipes, crafting, all of that is pretty good. I think this is one of the best games that they released this year, and you should definitely check it out if you haven't. Now, for the top 3 games, we're starting with The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. I had never played The Witcher, I had never read a book, I had never acknowledged anything about The Witcher except for the TV show from Netflix. So when I watched season 1 on Netflix, I decided to start my playthrough, and it has been a really good adventure. I am still playing on my playthrough. I haven't gotten that far, I would say. I just started now the DLC of Hearts of Stone, so I have much to discover. But this has been my first experience on an RPG game, a story RPG game, and I couldn't have asked for more. There is so much to it, and the story is amazing. You can take your time to read the journal, to read the bestiary and discover what you are fighting against or who is who. If a character you don't know shows up, you just check the character information and you get to clarify a lot of things. And I will say overall it's really good. The only thing I didn't like that much, because I'm playing on Deathmatch and with the scaling on, which means your enemies are the same level as you, is that the combat is kind of lacking. It's a little bit clunky, it doesn't feel that smooth. They could have done a better job at the end. But I do enjoy the preparation for each fight. Since it's hard difficulty, I get to read the bestiary, see the weaknesses of the enemies, and I'm also doing an alchemy build with magic. So I need to prepare my potions before each enemy fight, and it's a lot of fun. Plus the music, the dialogues, the side quests are amazing. Some of the side quests, they have their own story and you don't need to have any prior knowledge. They are really good and I will highly recommend you try this out. Probably it's on sale. It's on sale all the time, this game. You can get it for less than 10 bucks, the Game of the Year edition. And yeah, I think it deserves a number 3 spot in my list. Now, number 2, Outer Wilds: The Echoes of AI DLC. I know this is not a full game, it's a DLC, but I think it deserves this spot. I was actually doubting between putting it on number 1, because Outer Wilds was a unique experience. It's one of my favorite games of all times. If you haven't played this game, you should probably be careful with the information that you check out. You should just go blind into it. It's a very unique experience that can be easily spoiled. I don't know, the best way I can explain it to you without spoiling anything is this is an exploration game where you need to put information together and there are no quest markers, there is nothing that will guide your hand, there is no leveling system, there is nothing like that. The only thing you can level up is your knowledge, and with that you get to put the things together that you have discovered, and with it you will discover an amazing experience that you wish will never end. That's the best I can say. Plus, it has an amazing soundtrack. Now, this DLC adds to the base game, and it adds in such a beautiful way. Just a minor thing that some people have pointed out is that it has some scare jumps, some spooky elements, but I would say they add really well to the story. And if you feel scared, the game is doing a great job at telling the story. Even though you might be tempted to drop the game because you feel scared, I would say push through that feeling and finish it because it's well worth it. And it's totally deserved my number 2 spot. Alright, and now for the number 1. The best game I have played so far in this year, in 2021. Now, this game, I thought it was amazing. At first I didn't think I would like it because it looked very different to the other Zeldas that, by the way, I have played for the first time not so long ago. I was very wrong about it. I started and I got hooked immediately. The fact that you can just go anywhere in the world, that is an amazing feeling. There is no wrong way to play this game. You can just go, if you see it, you can go to it. And actually, I finished it 100%. I did all the DLCs. The only thing I didn't collect were the little boys from the forest. That I'm not gonna do that. It's 900 little boys, and I was not gonna do that. The music is amazing. The graphics are really good. It definitely stands to the standards of 2021. And I cannot wait for the second game in the franchise that should be coming out in 2022. My only concern when I started the game was that I wasn't a fan of the durability of the weapons and the fact that the weapons can break. I found that a turn off and I struggled with it at first, but I found after a while that it's actually not bad, especially when you are farther into the game and you get better weapons and you can switch them on the fly and they last longer. I thought it wasn't that bad in the end. Also, the boss fights were really good. The temples or the ancient creatures were amazing. I wasn't a huge fan of the whole technological theme or the tech music that sometimes they put here and there, but the other parts of the game really made up for it. I think it's an amazing experience. If you haven't played, you should definitely check it out. It's one of the best games that I think Nintendo has put out, and it's overall really good. And by the way, the whole playthrough is on my VODs, so you could check it out if you want. Alright, now we move into the honorable mentions. Games that I enjoyed still, but didn't make it to the top 10. So let's go. Let's start with No Man's Sky. This game was pretty good. I'm still playing it currently. I know it got a lot of hate at the beginning when it got released, but I would say it's very solid right now. People often ask me if it's worth the purchase, and I would say absolutely. There is so much content that you can just keep going, and if you want just to do exploration or base building or whatever, it's really good. So I would definitely recommend No Man's Sky in its current state. Before Your Eyes, this game was such a unique experience. Just be warned that you need a camera, a webcam, pointing to your face, because you control this game with your blinks. Basically, every time you blink, it's a control in the game. And you might actually miss some parts of the story if you blink. Sometimes you will find yourself holding your blinks and your eyes are hurting. It's a very good story, it has a very good story, and I would say it's definitely worth the money. And I think it was released also in 2021. Now, for two games that weren't released in 2021, Indiana Jones and the Fate of the Atlantis, and The Curse of Monkey Island. I played these two games while I was on vacation with my laptop, and they were amazing. These games, especially The Curse of Monkey Island, reminded me of my childhood. If you guys don't know, my name comes from Monkey Island, the series of Monkey Island, and they are really good. If you never played a point-and-click adventure, you should definitely try it out. I know it might be weird to have them in this list, but hey, I played them this year, so there you go. Frog Detective 1 and 2. I know these two games might seem like a meme, like they shouldn't be here, but actually it was a really good experience. I don't know what it is about these games, but it was very fun for me. I had a laugh a few times, and I will absolutely recommend them. You might have them if you have bought the Humble Bundle, and I think the third game is coming out soon. These are indie games, so hey, it's always good to support some indie games, right? Now, Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. This game actually surprised me. I decided to do all the story of the base game, and I still had to do a lot. I reached level 50 and I decided to put it on pause. And you can play for free. I actually played everything for free. I did all the story, I did most of the dungeons and big raids, if you wanna call them that way. And I really enjoy it. Actually, it's a good time to get into this game now. Now, for the last part of this video, the most disappointing games of 2021 for me. It doesn't mean that these games are bad, it's just I expected something else and it didn't happen, okay? So here we go. The Ascent. Okay, this game, I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't get into it. I thought the combat was really good. The graphics were amazing as well, but there was something about it that it felt very repetitive. The story wouldn't grab me the way I wanted, and overall I was pretty disappointed with this game. When I saw the trailer I was really excited, and then I tried on the Game Pass and I just couldn't get into it, even though I played for 3 streams, which is around 15 hours. I don't know, it might be the game for other people, but it wasn't the game for me. And last, Biomutant. I pre-ordered this game, even though I'm totally against pre-orders, and I haven't pre-ordered a game since 10 years ago. But for some reason I found myself really wanting to play this game. Honestly, the game is not bad. It kind of reminds me of Black and White, this old game from back in the day, where the creatures can be gods and stuff. I guess maybe I bought it because of that, because of the nostalgia. But for some reason I just couldn't get into it. The story was all over the place, the narrator was so weird. I know it has been patched, but I just couldn't get into it. I wish I could have returned it on time, but I played too much, so there you go. Alright, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you agree with my list? You don't agree? Let me know down there, alright? I swear I'm friendly. We can talk, we can dialogue. And who knows, I might be live right now on Twitch, so check me out if you want. I might be playing some new games, exciting. And I will see you around. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye bye. Bye.